Good morning. I am going to be reading from Your Lifebook. We're just starting. We're going to start into the introduction. This is going to be amazing. Um, it's going to be quite the journey getting through Your Lifebook. Let's start on page 6 in the introduction. One of the biggest and most powerful realizations we can ever have is to know that our life path is not fixed. The way you think, the way you act, the people you spend time with, and even the world you live in can all be changed. All things are possible. You have the capability over time, with specific focus, guidance, and practice, to become the dominant force in your life. From where you sit today, you might rightly think that what I am saying isn't possible. You might ask exactly how I can have a clue about your life. In fact, you're probably thinking I'm a bit full of myself. Well, I know we've only just started this book together, but I need to tell you that you're wrong. Years ago, things were different. I was certainly different, but that was a long time ago. Today, I am full of confidence and certainty in my approach and understanding, which is based on the firsthand experience of thousands of people from every walk of life who have transformed their lives. These people are not strangers. They are my people, my friends, and my community of clients and coaches who all make a decision to take control of their health and lives. What they share is a willingness to reach out for help and embrace a different way of approaching their lives. Their approach has gone from focusing on what's wrong in their lives to a mindset of asking, how can I change? What do I need to learn? And how can I include others in my journey? These individuals have rewritten their stories, so they are central characters in amazing journeys of transformation. I'll share some of their stories as part of the Habits of Health experience. Today, reading this, you now have the opportunity to write the next chapter of your health and your life. Believe me, I understand that the idea may seem scary. Based on your past experiences, you might not even think it's something you can do. In this chaotic and unstable world, it's times of accelerated change. Everything seems to be beyond your control. Your life does not have to be one of those things. The Habits of Health Transformational System. The Habits of Health Transformational System is your path out of a reality that doesn't appear to be within your control. The system will give you the opportunity to take a different path and equip you with what you need to write a different story from today onward. This system will give you a new sense of direction and put you in the driver's seat, so you can take control and travel along a new path towards better health and improved well-being. This is your companion guide to accompany you on an exciting journey to optimal health and well-being. In the original version, this guide was structured as a workbook used to help people learn the components of the Habits of Health system. I've made Habits of Health 2.0 into a much more valuable tool that helps you as you learn and practice the Habits of Health as part of the Habits of Transformational system. Rather than simply gathering information and filling in blanks as we did before, this new companion becomes an interactive documentary of your advancement towards a healthier and more thriving life. In short, it is your life book, expressing your story as you move forward. It is here to guide you and lay down the foundations at your pace to help you build a new life, a new future. Your life book will also give you the opportunity to make notes on what is working and what isn't, so you can measure your daily progress on your journey. Like a science experiment, I want to uncover what works for you specifically so I can guide you to your new future. Your life book will help track your progress and provide powerful feedback as you grow and advance on the path to better health and well-being. Remember, this is your story. So because it is absolutely unique, I want to support you in the ways that work best for you. Your life book is designed to do just that. You will be able to customize and adjust the elements to fit your talents, your genetics, and your priorities. How the parts of the system work together. There are 3 parts of the Habits of Health transformation system. There's the Habits of Health book in a new and updated version. You're holding your life book in your hand. And then there is, and this says Habits of Health app, but we now have the Optavia app. Let's briefly explain why they all matter and how they interact with each other. So Dr. A's Habits of Health. This is the main textbook. It contains much more detail about the different aspects of the habits of health. It reflects on the latest science of well-being and outlines a huge amount of important information about nutrition, sleep, exercise, and more. Think of this as the part of a system that lives on your bookshelf, and you will reference it often. Your life book. This is a day-to-day journal packed with really useful tips, hints, and advice on your journey to optimal health. Each progressive element represents a central core component which will forge a rock-solid foundation for your progress to optimal health and beyond. As a completely joined-up summary of the main book. It's designed to be easy to carry around and perfect for jotting down your thoughts, your progress, and your challenges, so you can reflect on your achievements and know your weaknesses. Think of this as something you can keep with you throughout the day and on your bedside at night. And over the next 12 months, you will use it to create and rewrite your new health story. So it's designed to be read over a year, at 5 minutes a day. So, and then it talks about the Habits of Health app, which we no longer have. We now have the Optavia app, which is pretty amazing. So the 3 critical parts can work independently of each other. But because they're all based on the same principles and with the same aim of getting you to optimal health, they're far more effective when used together. There's one important thing you should know. Your journey will not go perfectly. It will be full of challenges and setbacks, but they are all part of the life-building process. But if you stay the course, use the life lessons as learning opportunities, and are willing to be open and curious, then this story will be a happy beginning to a thriving life. When you're doing what you want to do, becoming good at it, and sharing it with those you love and care about, you will have written a great story. Rocks, pebbles, and sand. Before you start writing your own story, I'd like to set the stage by retelling a story I've heard and told many times. It's a story about rocks, pebbles, sand, and a mason jar. A teacher places a mason jar filled with rocks in front of his class and asks if the jar is full. Yes, the kids say. He takes a pail with smaller pebbles and pours them into the jar, shaking it until they fill the spaces between the rocks. Is the jar full? He asks. Yes, they say again. The teacher then adds a scoop of sand to the jar. The grains fall down between the larger and smaller rocks. Is the mason jar full? He asks. The class inspects the jar. There is no more room for anything else. The teacher smiles, grabs a pitcher of water, and proceeds to fill the jar to the brim. The teacher explains that the demonstration is an analogy. He tells them that the jar is your life. The rocks are the big things in your life, such as family, your partner, your health, and your hopes and dreams. The pebbles are other things that give life meaning, like friendships, jobs, or hobbies. And the sand and the water are the small things that fill in the rest of our time. The point of the demonstration is that if you fill your life with the small stuff, how will you ever be able to put in the big, important stuff? Everything fits in the jar just like the components of your life, but you need to consider how the small stuff fits around the bigger things, not vice versa. I love this story for several reasons. Its principal lesson is the very building blocks of the Habits of Health transformation system. Life is a series of choices, and some of them are more important than others. As you will soon learn, it is prioritization of those choices that creates the motivation which drives everything you can accomplish. Since the origin of the story is unknown, I'm going to adopt the visual analogy it offers and make it a way of explaining and describing our system. It is the perfect structure to visualize and empower your new story and your journey. The reality is that we live in a obesogenic world, surrounded by so many things that can, love you, so many things that can have damaging effects on our weight and our health. As I described in part 1.1 of Dr. A's Habits of Health, it's not your fault that you're struggling with your weight, your health, and your well-being. At this chaotic, unhealthy, fast food-filled, stressful world, it's not going to change in the near future. The Habits of Health transformation system is like the mason jar, as it creates a microenvironment of health to protect you from your unhealthy surroundings. The macro habits of health are the foundations of optimal health and well-being. These 6 key foundational categories are like the rocks. We will place them in the jar first to create lifelong transformation and to protect you from the modern world's negative side effects. And that's what I'm going to look at next. There's the jar. Macro habits of health. Macro, the big rocks. Healthy weight management, healthy eating and hydration, healthy motion, healthy sleep, healthy mind, and healthy surroundings. Addressing all 6 of these macro habits of health is critical. Taking time to focus and place these rocks in our jar is the first step in building the foundation necessary for our long-term success. If we fail to tackle each of these keystones of our microenvironment of health, the structure will be weakened and decrease our chances to withstand the effects of our modern world. Next, we have to introduce the primary and secondary habits that are derived from the 6 macro habits. These are the pebbles. These actions surround, reinforce, and actually arise from the foundational rocks. These habits of health can be further broken down into the micro habits, smaller habits, which are extremely small positive actions. They're so small that we can always do them. That's a huge piece of it. Small habits that we can always do. Micro habits are the thousands of small choices that are a part of our daily life. For example, we make over 200 decisions about food each day, and each micro action either adds to our health and life or detracts from it. The sand, therefore, represents what happens to be significant choices on their own, but when placed in the jar and mixed with water, they become the concrete that makes the jar rock solid and a formidable force against any external challenges to your health and well-being. I've never read that before thinking that way, making it like cement. Because if that cement's not in there, sometimes our macro habits can kind of jiggle back and forth. Interesting. So how to use your life book. Think of this guide as a combination of a guidebook and a personal journal. I would encourage you to make it as personal as possible. You can attach photos of your progress, write your successes and your challenges, or sketch a favorite meal. The key thing is that the life book is special to you. Each element will have a central theme and a goal, and will end with a review of the principles and how you have applied it to your life. Each principle builds on the previous one to lay a foundation for your daily life. Once learned and installed, we can step up on your path to give you a firm footing for your ascent to optimal health and well-being. If you have a coach or a professional helping you, they will help make sure you have mastered each element before you move on to the next. They have been trained to help you get the most from your life book and the process. Your life book is designed to accompany you throughout your day so you can take notes in it and refer back to key takeaways later. This will be important to remember breakthroughs and insights and to identify triggers from which future days can be built. Your life book will also allow you to track your progress. So fill it in with notes on experiences and maybe even setbacks. It will help you remember the key things that you're working on. I encourage you to put dates in there too, because you'll come back through it again. It cannot be said enough that reviewing your notes, events that led you aha moments, and just coordinating repetition will allow you to go over where you are in your element and your journey. This can lead to amazing breakthroughs, great awakenings. This knowledge is most valuable when you decide to become through the act of doing, which will lead to the results you're after. Page 17. Not only should you review your current and completed elements often, but you should also share your insights and thoughts with your coach or mentor. And that's a huge piece. The way that the life book's put together, it's used on all of our senses. So we read it, we write in it, we date it and circle it and all of that. We teach at the end of each element our coach, because if you learn it to teach it, you learn it differently and you become it better. And then we hear it and we see it on our weekly webinar. So what I really hope is that your life book ends up on your nightstand so that you will transcribe your key thoughts from the day into it as one of your habits, whether it is expressing your gratitude, a list of key takeaway notes, or reminders of how you will start your day tomorrow. It should become a part of your life as you journey to your transformation. Your life book has much in common with the traditional journal with structure, but our approach gives it structure. Each element is a permanent step towards a better understanding. It will equip you with increasing skills and act as a reference so you can proceed safely on your climb to optimal health and well-being. Each element will have enough structure and information for you to master it. And if you are not used to writing things down and journaling, it took me a while to get used to this when I first started, it will give you default boxes to check off when you make progress and provide questions to assist you on your journey. Using your life book is a key habits of health that you can successfully install. It will become an automated part of your day, like all of the other habits of health. Your life book is designed to chronicle your first year of building your new healthy life. It will also document your increasing mastery of the key elements as you become a higher version of yourself. There are 26 progressive elements for the next 52 weeks, which gives you, on average, 2 weeks to progress through an element. Some of the lessons you will be able to complete sooner, and some may take a little longer. There is no set schedule because we want you to proceed at your own pace. I will provide an average time I think is reasonable to complete each element, simply for your reference. A quick look inside your life book. Your life book has been designed to be interactive as possible. That's about you writing in it, carrying it around with you, and turning to it when you need inspiration, advice, or a reminder about how far you've come. Let's take a quick look at how each element works. Number one, each element starts by setting goals and being clear on why it matters. Number two, we'll also ask you to write about your experiences so far. Number three, we'll tell you what you will learn. Number four, we include lots of helpful tips and advice. You'll see references to the main Habits of Health book. Number six, your coach will help assist you to master each element. If you are ready to start, proceed to the first element. For those of you who have already started the journey and are losing weight and getting healthier, congratulations. We can pick up from here because the journey to optimal health and well-being isn't just about restricting period of time when you are losing weight. It is about fundamentally changing your habits one at a time until you have created sustainable transformation. Those new habits will provide a microenvironment of health to armor and protect you against whatever this crazy world throws at you for the rest of your life. And that's a letter from In Health, Dr. Wayne Scott Anderson. And here he is. And page 20 says, your current story. How is your life? And instead of writing in it, I've actually written my story out here. I actually have 3 of them through the last 10 years that I've written and put in here. Okay, page 22. Knowing your current reality is the first step in creating your new life. Dr. Wayne Scott Anderson. The idea behind your life book is that it will help you keep a dynamic record of the transformation that will take place over the next year. From your current reality to a life of optimal health and well-being, along with the habits of health, it will help you learn and master a series of fundamental elements that will be at the heart of the story you write of your new life. Let's begin by documenting your starting point. Note, although this may not be an exercise that excites you, it is important because it will give you a reference point. It's like taking the before snapshot that you'll compare with the after. Everything is going to change. And as you improve your health and your life, this snapshot will provide reference point to your old story. Why does writing this journal matter? Before you start, I want you to realize that this is a safe space in which you can tell your current story. This is your life book, which means it is your private interactive journal and guide. It is unique to you. You will have time for self-reflection, plenty of space to take notes, and more than enough insight of the insights I have gathered over the last 20 years or so to help you write your new story at your own pace. In this digital age where everything is electronic, I believe that there is real power in using pen and writing on our past and current thoughts and observations in our own hand. Much like writing down our goals, the written word has magic in it. The structure of this section and the future elements have been designed to increase your self-awareness, so you become more aware of who you are and where you are starting. This will allow you to methodically build and master the elements, thereby creating lifelong transformation. The idea is that you will develop a deep desire to continue to learn, grow, and develop. Our focus will be on your lifestyle habits because you have full control over them. And as you strengthen them, they will provide a solid foundation for creating overall well-being. In the coming elements, we'll explore the core building blocks of health and well-being. Before we gather some of your information and ask you a few questions to see where you are now, I would love you to write a brief introductory piece about who you are. All right. Let me tell you a little bit about me. Let me see how many pages we have. Okay, we're going to start next on page 24, which is talking a little bit about Dr. A and introducing him.